Are we ready? Okay, I'm gonna move the microphone. I heard, no, they can't hear me. I guess I'm live now. Okay. We all set, gentlemen?
Yep.
Jeff?
Yep.
Hey.
Yes.
I'll open the meeting for Thursday, April 6th, 2017. Please stand and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. All together. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. I hope that's not, I hope that,
That's for you.
I hope that's not Trump bombing Syria. That's all we need. Okay, opening comments. Vice Chairman Enzo first.
Okay. Last night, my wife Peggy and I, the town clerk and I, and Jeff attended the Essex Heritage Award ceremony for the NPT, and they were recognized at that meeting. Secretary Kerry was there. I didn't get to meet him, but the town clerk did. So, and she was very excited about it. So, I just want to say that they did a great job. The Peabody Essex Museum, people should really take that in. It's a great place, and you know, it was a wonderful time. The MPT deserves a lot of credit for what they do. And we have a note. I just want to let everybody know that our former librarian, Dan DiStefano, passed away this morning. Dan was very instrumental in the town. He ran the library. He brought us into the 21st century. Great guy, and he'll be sorely missed.
Very good. Anything else?
That's it. Thank you.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
G?
Last meeting, hey, it works. Last meeting, I had a few of my constituents tell me that they couldn't hear me. Obviously, the mic was too far away. And I talked a lot about, we had an open meeting on March 9th downstairs with the bylaw committee that the three of us have appointed, and lawyers for us, the town council, the town administrator, the committee, and we hashed out the fact that the Town Administrator Act does not really jive with what we have for, what was that? Town Charter, sorry. The Town Charter and the Town Administrator Act don't jive. We need a special committee to find out ways to make them jive, to make them look the same. And whether the changes come to the Town Administrator Act or not is the charge of this bylaw committee. To review the Town Charter and Special Act of '92 and resolve issues that are caused by inconsistencies in the two documents. To flesh out areas in both documents to define duties between selectmen and town administrator. It was decided that the bylaw committee resolve issues in an objective manner, and if they are unable, then the direction is to make changes in the Town Administrator Act. And the bylaw committee be added to the continuation article on the warrant at town meeting, and that the committee would be called the Charter and Bylaw Committee. So I just wanted to report that we are making progress, and it was a great meeting. It went real well. Secondly, we went down to the golf course last week, Tuesday, forget the days. I had a long week myself. It was quite nice. And we had a tour of the golf course. The selectmen were invited along with the golf course committee. And it was well done. The place was really well done. And the town administrator came out with the perfect statement, what a great asset this is. They've done a great job down there. And I promised them that I would use this word. It was spectacular. It was really well done. So that's all from me, Mr. Chairman, but that was really well done. I'm really sorry about Dan DiStefano.
Yeah, Dan was a great librarian and a great guy, and he did a lot for the town, and he volunteered for so many different projects. It was very good. Well, I didn't go to Heritage Park, but I did go attend the Lions Club Italian night last night at the Knights of Columbus. And I must tell you, what a treat. I've been going for the last few years, and it's, they do an excellent job, and it's a great homemade food, and they really, and they raised a lot of money, and if next year, if you have a chance to attend, the Lions, under KK Sherber, she was the one that really, she got a lot of excitement and brought a lot of initiatives to the Lions, the Nahant Lions, and they're doing a good job, and that dinner last night was outstanding. I want to congratulate the Public Works Department for outstanding work last night, and working our way through to fix the sewer break, because we had the inspection of the Kelly Greens, and it's coming along fantastically, and they've done a great job, because lo and behold, we had a major sewer break last night, yesterday morning. Our building inspector, Wayne Wilson, was opening the Kelly Greens for the workers to get in there, and he found the water leaking in there, and of course he advised everyone, and then we turned loose. Dennis Ball did a great job with his team, brought in Grenice, who usually does our sewer and water work, and they come right across the causeway, and they fixed it, and we're not back to normal, but we're almost there. They're pumping down the golf course. As you know, we've got about 2.5 inches of water already. As you can hear the lightning and thunder and rain out there, so we'll probably get another inch tonight, 1.5 inches, but they're pumping it down, and they've got high-speed pumps down there, so by the weekend it should be, because lo and behold, we're going from winter, no spring, right to summer next week. Okay, so that was, I just want to tell you, especially the Lions, if you have a chance, take that dinner in next year. It's quite a treat. Gentlemen, I'll entertain a motion to approve the prior minutes on March 9th and March 16th. Motion, is there a motion?
Yeah, okay, I'll move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the executive session minutes of 3/9/17, which I have right here, and the minutes of 3/16, public minutes of 3/16/17.
Motion's been made, is there a
Second for
second?
discussion.
Motion's been made and seconded, is there discussion?
If I may,
Yes.
I came here ready to not approve the minutes of 3/19 until I realized no one could hear me. So obviously they aren't in the minutes if no one can hear me. So I will approve these, but I would like what I just mentioned about the bylaw committee in the next set of minutes, please. So,
I was on the same, they couldn't hear me either, which,
that's impossible. You have a very deep voice, Mr. Lombard.
wow,
I was the only one that could hear.
really?
I know, Enzo was the only one that could hear it.
God, you're throwing the zings at me left and right tonight.
No, we're not.
Oh, you guys, oh my goodness. Anyways, motion's been made, motion's been seconded. Further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Before I begin in the Citizens Forum, I'm going to take a step, and I invited the lobstermen, representative of the lobstermen here tonight, and we're down discussing the wharf problem. As you well know, we contracted to get the town wharf, town town slip, the boat ramp completed, and the contractor came up short on this whole procedure, and he didn't get the product that he needed ordered in time. So we were gonna have a meeting with everyone involved, Board of Selectmen, lobstermen, recreational boaters. But I want to cancel that meeting, and I'm going to tell, it's up to the board. I'll entertain a motion that, I found that the lobstermen had a great suggestion. Well, once they put the boats in by May 15th, All boats have to be off the wharf for the Memorial Day Parade anyways. Hopefully, the contractor can finish the job and do the slip during the months of May and June with the deadline of July 1st. And that'll be much better than we're waiting till October, November, December, and cold weather, the cold water, et cetera, et cetera. And they had some ideas. So I'm gonna entertain a motion to do that, but before I do that, I wanna make sure in the motion we take care of some other things. They also had some suggestions that, the swimming in that area be closed while they're in the process of, doing the slip. And the other suggestion was that, they can use the wall and the pier. We can't have anyone swimming down there. As you all know, the weather's gonna turn next week. Hopefully be 80, 70, 80, so it's about time. But we want to get this slip done, completed, and then have it back to normal. And then they can use it. We can notify the Waffinger and Mr. Thibault, and anyone else. And the other suggestion, there was another suggestion you had too. We'll have the police chief, while they're down there working, Jeff, have the police chief assigned, police officers to check that more frequently. Okay. So that we don't have any problems down there. Because the lobstermen will have their equipment, their prams with the engines on it and ready to go, and they can just use it. We don't want anyone taking advantage of them. I'll entertain a motion to do that, but I just that's up to you. I was down there talking to them, and they're here, and maybe you would like to get up and say something before the board.
Everything you said, Mr. Lombard, sounds real good to us. We appreciate it.
We're worried about it nighttime.
Yeah, just at nighttime, things, we don't want things to go missing if
Maybe
we're not able to pull the skiffs up on the slipway and stuff like that. But other than that, you pretty much covered everything.
Mine? You need to get it to the microphone.
They'll fence in that whole area, I'm assuming, where the sheathing is and all their equipment.
Yeah, he has to de-water it.
Yes, but I would still like to see more police in the area more often.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because those,
We can't have the fishing, that they normally do, and the swimming especially, because someone's gonna get hurt, they'll get hurt.
I'm sure Chief Dwyer will okay that.
Well, I wouldn't mind the contractor paying for a detail. Sit down there and...
Yeah.
And I would light up the area like a Christmas tree down there. Bring in some Renault lights and light it up at night so that everyone realizes that, the lobstermen's gonna have their engines on their truck, boats and things.
Can we set up a meeting with the fishermen and us and the contractor?
Sure.
Well, okay,
I mean,
if we pass...
at another day, just to, because I'd like to see them on the same page as those guys too,
Oh, yeah, no.
And us.
Once we reel this out and Jeff types it all up, we're gonna approve it right now, the change of the work orders, and we'll have these in written form for the contractor that, And I would also add, I wouldn't pay the contractor until he completely finishes.
Right.
I wouldn't pay him a dime, and especially the consultants. I wouldn't, I know, I put this in the motion when we make the motion, because I'll be honest with you, this is supposed to be done. And as I said, in good faith, we trusted them to do that, and they kinda misused our trust. And I don't appreciate that.
I'm still a little...
When they say A, and they're doing C and D instead.
I'm still a little skeptical myself, but...
Okay, yeah. Is there anything else you want to add, gentlemen? I'll entertain that motion if you want to discuss it further.
So move, and I'll
I move that, I'll give it a try.
go ahead.
I'll move that the construction begins May 15th until ending, hopefully by July, on the slip, and that the area be closed to swimming, that the fishermen be allowed to use the wall and pier for their jobs, and that hopefully that the police chief, and that the police chief will check the area more often to keep kids out and away,
Okay.
and that the construction company get paid at the end. Is that what you would like?
I would like to make sure they complete the
Completed
job,
the job
and then
before-
have
Detail officer.
a detail officer assigned while the construction at night. They're gonna be down there during the day, but maybe a cruiser sit down there and I would light it up, rent, these temporary lights they use down at the sewer break. Light it all up so that people, know to stay away.
Okay. I so moved that.
Motion's been made, is there a second?
I'll second it for
Discussion.
discussion, and just one last thing, I still like to meet with them, make sure, and I'd like, has the bonding company been notified at all?
They have been.
Okay, I just want to make sure that they're aware of what's going on. Because we do want to get it done.
Any other further discussion?
Is that satisfactory to you guys?
Great, appreciate it, thank you.
I want to thank you for stepping up and discussing with the board your concerns, because the only way we know that there's a problem or a potential problem down there if someone doesn't say something to us. And this is great that you stepped up and you talked to the board, and we appreciate that.
And that the problem's been worked out. That's terrific. That's terrific.
We all feel kind of, as you do, we were let down by this company because we worked with them last year to make it happen and never happened. So now we feel, if we have to work and give up a little time here and to make it work, then we'll do what we have to do.
And you'll already be out in the ocean.
Yeah,
That's good. That's
Do
good.
they still have any other wall to do?
There's some minor repairs that have to be made, that's all. But the wall is basically done.
The wall on the left side of the slip,
Oh, the
No.
wall under the upper parking lot,
that's done.
Yeah.
no, the wall in the lower parking lot's done. We're talking about possibly also having them do the wall in the upper parking lot. So between the slip and the upper parking lot?
Oh, yeah, well, as you go down the slip, the wall that needs to be pointed up.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. They can get that done.
ASAP.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, before you leave, we'll make the changes for these beach stickers for your sternmen. I had no idea they were paying $25.
No, me neither.
No, $10 apiece.
It's just like you, and I would suggest that you get with all the lobstermen and make a list of, how many stickers you need for your stuff and your family, and then the stern man who doesn't live in town, but he needs a sticker, so that we have his name and address. And there's probably gonna be some changes with that as we go forward. We're gonna discuss it tonight, okay? But I wanna make sure, I saw that $25, and I said, wow, that's kinda really,
One thing, Justin, on the, if you have a sternman and he doesn't work out, how would we handle that as far as a sticker?
Yeah.
Just take it back?
You'd try, but sometimes when they don't work out, you might not see them again.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, but
Oh,
you hope for the best, I guess.
So it happens?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
You're right, they might not see him again.
Unfortunately.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks,
Have
guys.
a nice night.
See you later.
thank you very much for taking the time.
Good night.
Motion's been made, is there a second? Do you have all the motions,
I do.
Jeff? All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The citizen forum that was just about it. There's no one else here. Town Administrator's report, you're up, Joe.
Great. The first item has to do with the FY 2018 budget. We had talked at the last meeting that there were some minor changes that have to be made. Basically, we have just hired a new assistant treasurer collector, and we needed to adjust a health package. We made that adjustment. We also found a omission in the fire department, so we made that adjustment. So with those, the budget is, as we've been discussing over the last 3 months, and it's ready for you to take action to approve. And you have a motion before you to do so.
Okay, I'll move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the FY 2018 balanced budget as presented with a total operational cost of $9,051,370 and a total appropriation of $11,722,978.
Second for discussion.
Motion's been made and motion's been seconded. Further discussion.
The part down the end, the Finance Committee will be taking their final budget votes by Friday.
Yeah, that's a little dated, that they've taken their votes already.
Okay, first of all, they're an advisory in Finance Committee, and they're not gonna fund two positions. Those are that's our budget.
There are three variances that you're talking about between the Selectmen and the Finance Advisory Committee budget. There are two positions that they've elected not to fund, and then also they're not supporting the ambulance enterprise. So those are the three variances between the two.
Okay, well,
And we'll be talking about that in preparation for the town meeting.
when do we're gonna meet with them, correct?
Yes, I'm trying to set up a meeting. They've just finished putting the book out, so they're kind of exhausted right now, so I'll try
I
to
thought the budget belonged to the Selectmen.
The first round does belong to the Selectmen, and then it goes to the Finance Committee, and the Finance Committee brings it forward to the town meeting.
But it's still our budget.
It is recommended by the Finance and Advisory Committee. The Selectmen are the origin of the budget, but the Finance and Advisory Committee is the one who speaks to the town meeting and presents the book that goes out to the residents. So if the Board of Selectmen have a difference of opinion, it goes to the discussion on the floor at town meeting.
Well, DPW skilled laborer, I mean, that's a position that's an absolute must.
We only have five public works employees, and you could see what happened last night. They needed every one of them.
Well, I mean, okay, so this goes to the floor, because we are the elected, we are the ones who are elected, and they advise the town on how to spend our budget, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, I
Okay.
just took exception to that.
I'm in favor of everything, the changes, with the exception of the ambulance enterprise fund. I'm totally against that, because of, number one, I don't like the idea, first year out of we're raising the fee for the ambulance, and I just think that's wrong, and we don't have a chance we need to study that a little deeper, okay? And I'd like to have that taken out of this. I go along with A and C, the funding for both of the assistant treasurer collector and public works employee. I mean, that position for the assistant treasurer collector is huge. And the public works, we've only got 5 full-time people down there, and with the new superintendent, he's going through this very diligently, and he's looking for a specific individual with a multi-talent resume, and that's why it's taken him so long to get that position filled. So, and I think he's doing the correct thing, and he's doing the right thing, taking his time and not being rushed or pushed or anything into it. Well, I think the board's definitely in favor of that position. And if we need to defend it on the town hall floor, we'll do that. The same with the treasurer collector. As you all know, the town meeting is the jury, and we're gonna be defending it. And we will.
I'm ready.
But on the ambulance front, I don't think I think we need more study on that and look at it, and I really didn't like not having the full-time firefighters get involved in this thing and move us money around, and so I'd like to have that withdrawn. I'm gonna vote no on that, but I don't wanna vote no on the whole thing. I'd like to just isolate that if I could. The motion's been made for the whole thing, but I'd like to make an amendment that we take out, and we'll see if it passes, I don't know, of the ambulance enterprise fund. I just think it makes sense to me to hold
I
off.
think, if I may, I think you should note that you're against it, but I think it should go as is.
Yeah, think it's,
just look at town hall, town
They
meeting.
are, if I may, they're indefinitely, they're gonna indefinitely postpone this
No,
anyway.
no, I understand that.
So then
no,
you can get up and speak on it.
oh, okay, I just
That's
want,
what I was
I don't want,
thinking.
I don't want to
But
set
you
you.
can go on record now as saying no.
Yeah, I don't want to set you two up, you know what I mean? You guys are in favor, no, I'm town meeting.
I
you
know.
what I mean? I want to tell you. Okay, that's fine.
I knew that,
Okay, what else?
First, I'm, all for the Assistant Treasurer Collector. I got a long letter from Kathy Famulari before she left. I did my homework, and I asked for to describe the two jobs, and she did a great job doing that. And from what I can see already, they hired a crackerjack. This girl is really, really good, and she's just gonna, and she's young. That's the good part about it. So she can fold into the next step later on when the other one, when Kathy Kuzis retires. So at some point. So this is what we looked for. And as far as the DPW, look, they have a laborious job, and they need as much help as they can. I mean, there was a time when we had 20 guys down there, and now we have 5. And it's to the town's benefit, because if you keep sending things out to be repaired or whatever, it costs the town money. So if you have these skilled guys there that can do it, it undoubtedly saves the town money, I think. So, but I notice here the fire captain's funding. I want to congratulate Dean Palumbo for he took the captain's exam and passed. So I'd make the motion that we put him back at fire captain.
Second.
If
Well,
we
there's a motion
if we
already.
could, we're waiting for the formal notification of the test, and that'll be placed on the next meeting on the 20th. We hope to receive it within the next week. So once we have that, then at
Okay.
least we'll have the
Well,
documentation.
I want him put back to fire captain as soon as that comes in. And he,
Well, it will be back retroactive when he passed.
Yeah, once we receive notification, it'll be upon that
I
notification.
think he's got 17 days. It takes 17 days because he got the email saying that he actually did very good on it, and then it takes 17 days for them to actually send the stuff out. So I want.
But we, while we're on the subject, we've got to make sure that he was a fire captain. And all that time in grade has to be added to his service. You know what I mean? His longevity goes.
Right. Well, yeah.
It all has to be
Oh, yeah.
added in.
Because he was the acting captain, and he took a back seat until he figured out that, until he took the test, and he took it and he passed, so.
Okay, I have no problem with that.
Okay.
Okay, motion's been made. Any further discussion?
Well, I think we made two motions at once.
Yes.
No, I know we did.
First one,
should
we'll
do
make
the
the next
first
one.
one first.
All right.
Why don't we do the first one?
With your amendment,
Right.
Your amendment
I
of
will
a no
amend-
on ambulance.
I will amend on the ambulance, right.
yeah, because that should be in the minutes, Rich.
Right,
Right.
yeah. Motion has been made, is seconded.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I approve, okay? I'd like to make a motion that, I'd like to, for the record, I'm not in favor of putting the ambulance enterprise fund in the budget. Okay, I want to make that,
Yep.
let that be known.
And make it
And
in
I
the
will be,
minutes.
and I will be talking against that on town hall floor.
Duly noted.
Makes the minutes.
That's all. Okay, we don't need to vote it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to also commend the Board of Selectmen for really participating heavily in the budget process this round. We had some challenges before us in the 2018 budget, and it was very helpful to have the Selectmen so integrated into the process, so congratulations and thank you. The next item is I'm going to pull the second and third item together, which is the annual town meeting warrant and then Article 3 transfers. So we have a completed and posted or signed warrant, and there are 41 articles. At the next meeting, which is the 20th, we will have the moderator here, and we will start that meeting with the moderator meeting. And the moderator just walks us through kind of the dry run for the town meeting. And it's great that it's televised, because I think it helps people to understand the process if they're not familiar with it. But again, there are 41 articles. One of the articles is Article 3, which is the transfer. And so I will be getting you information as early next week on just the motions, Article 3, what that entails right now, and then also an executive summary that is a checklist that we go through and we use that for the town meeting day. So we're where we should be. The annual report and the finance committee book are out to print, and so we're on schedule, and we're heading towards April 29th.
Beautiful.
Yes, which is very good.
If I may?
Sure.
The Article 10 is on the Coast Guard housing, the sale of the property where the selectmen are going to request the town to allow us to begin the process of selling Coast Guard houses. Begin the process is the key for me. We need all the people in town to come up to support us on selling these as individual units. Thank you.
Great. Then looking at the next item, which is the beach sticker discussion. We've started this discussion, and I actually think it's great that we call everything.
Wait, well, let's vote on the warrant. Transfers.
You're all set. There's nothing
Till the
before you
next
to
one.
take a vote
It's
on.
already done.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, I thought we had approved it, okay.
Yep. So on the Nahant beach sticker
D.
process, you had asked a few questions. It forced me to really call out all the details, and I think that helps all of us because
Yes.
in dealing with City Hall systems, they've made some suggestions on what we can do to improve the system towards what you were asking for. But there's also, in this discussion, there's a lot of policy direction that I'd ask for you to kind of talk through right now. But when looking at City Hall systems, what they made is two recommendations, and it's on page 2, top page. It says, immediately what they can do is they can require that anybody who submits an application be on an excise list as well as having finished a census. And then next year, what they would suggest is that, because we're halfway through the process of the initial issuances of stickers, is that next year we attach the plate number for each car on the sticker. That requires that the sticker on the car actually be matched with the plate. And that helps to make sure that the stickers don't get passed around, and it's more enforceable that way. So those are the two recommendations they make.
Well, right now, that's what we do. We, all, immediately, all future applications for beach stickers can be required to both be on, shown on the excise list and the completed census. They do that anyway.
But that's not our formal policy, so what we're doing is I'm asking you to kind of set the formal
Well, I
policy.
think we did that, we did that because I know that Peggy has mentioned to me that she has to give them input on the census. Definitely, and I think each sticker must be affixed to the window. I mean, I don't know how that got out of control, where people can, just laminate it and put it on their dashboard. That's got to stop, because they're selling them. Now, there's one other thing here that really kind of, I was looking at. Now, if somebody loses their sticker, they can turn around and get a new one. If they don't show that they had a sticker before, if they don't turn the old one back in, for instance, if they broke a windshield, you peel it off and you can send it back, they'll give you another one for free, I think. But if you don't send them back anything and just say it's missing, they charge you $25. Well, some of these stickers are being sold on Craigslist for $200, so that's a $175 profit. They have to be, I want them stuck to the windshield, no excuses, and they have to have a registration number on them, absolutely, for next year. I think the other thing, I'd like to know what the police's policy is too. How do they give them out? And what do they give out? I don't see anything here from the police department. I just see, this is from City Hall Systems and actually the Treasurer Collector's Office.
Yep. And in the police department, in talking to Bob Dwyer, what they give out is a pass that is dated for that day, and it's good for only that period of time. I can get a little more detail if you'd like.
Okay, those are the big stickers?
Yes.
Because I actually have a copy of one at home, and there's no date on it.
I'm not sure. I know that Bob said that they put the date on it, so it's only good for that period.
Okay.
Yeah, they're dated and they're color-coded too,
Yep,
Well, they're color-coded,
for that day.
yep.
for that day?
Yeah.
Okay,
So it's pink, it's for Monday,
okay.
they go right through it, and it's only, you know, it's, the procedure is, they have to go through, you know, request it.
So I think we need to get that out there, that we have, that the sticker should be affixed to the windshield, stuck on there.
Aren't they, they are now,
Now, some people just leave them on the dashboard, they'll tape them to the window,
okay, we have to put on instructions there.
Yeah, okay. And if you go to the lower portion of the second page, there's a policy direction requests. As you'll see there, there's a whole host of questions that we raise, that if you have some policy direction on these, that'd be great. Like, for instance, right now, residents can receive up to 5 stickers. And it just depends upon the number of cars you have on the excess list, I mean, the excise list, excuse me. And then we have policies on organizations. We don't have much policy on enforcement. So I don't know if that's something you want to think about or talk about right now.
businesses resident-owned receive as many stickers as they have registered vehicles. I don't think that's advisable. I mean, if I have a repair plate and I have 15 cars I want to sell, that would entitle me to 15 stickers. And I would never do that, but I'm just saying that, you know, they don't need that, they don't need that many stickers. I think we need to do something with that.
Do you have a suggestion on how to find that lower number?
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Well, number one, I was going through this, and we have the lobstermen here, and I see the lobstermen, lobsterman WAF only. I mean, most of them are our residents. They have a sticker. They should be able to park anywhere in the town, number one. They're charging $25 for a lobsterman WAF only. I don't, that's very unfair.
Well, that's the non-resident ones.
No, it says here, resident stickers $10, limit 5 stickers per household. I would take the limit 5, I would take that out completely. Make it according to, you know, the excise and the census.
Well, that's what they do. So if somebody has 5 vehicles on the excise list, they can get up to 5 stickers.
Some of them have 10 vehicles.
Yeah.
10 vehicles? How don't they get 10 vehicles?
There are some,
They're supposed to park 10 vehicles.
Yeah.
Unless it's at Bass Point Apartments.
I
I think you need we get a policy that you get a beach sticker if you live in Nahant, you pay real estate taxes, you own a house, you and your wife, you get 2 stickers. That's it.
That's plenty.
Now, the exceptions to the rule would be, you know, sternmen and the lobstermen, and I wouldn't charge them $25 for WAF only. I just think they should be, you know, I mean, and then the lobstermen themselves are paying $25. I don't know where that started.
Are the lobstermen paying $25?
you know, that's non-residents.
Non-resident lobstermen.
Yeah, and it doesn't say that in there, but that's what that's for. So anybody who's a resident,
Town currently issues beach parking stickers to residents, organizations, other special circumstances. All stickers are issued based upon the list of individual businesses paying taxes in Nahant. It's nothing about resident and non-resident.
so you have resident above it, and then you have placards for lobstermen.
Right.
To clarify, it really means.
Well, it needs, you need to spell that out. I just don't think lobstermen, WAF only, lobstermen, if they live in town, they own property, they get stickers.
Right. They live here, sure.
And then they should submit a list to you, Jeff, of the sternmen for $10, not $25. I mean, that's.
But
And I would,
what Jeff was saying was that some of the lobstermen may be out-of-towners.
yes.
So you'd want them to get a $25 placard.
Well, no, they'd get a, well, you could give them a plaque WAF only, charge them $10. I wouldn't,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what we do, but it's just 25.
Yeah.
We should just charge them 10, yeah.
It shouldn't be, I mean, they're not making that kind of money to.
I don't think we should,
The other thing, I'm totally against, people coming up here, like the elderly, a lot of them don't have computers.
Right.
And they should be able to walk in here and show them their registration, and they're on the census, and they're on the excise tax. They should be able to get a sticker right out of the treasurer's office. a lot of people come up and don't have computers.
Well, we can,
And then instead of people having them fill out forms, and then they have to mail the form in, and then, I totally disagree with that. I disagree when we first started this process. You should be able to, you know, anyone, I'm gonna say a number, 70 years or older, should be able to come up and get a sticker out of the treasurer's office. I mean, that's why, it's like double taxation. We're paying for stickers that they're paying taxes for. I mean, I know we issued 2,600 stickers. Well, there's 1,300 homes, and 2 cars per home is 2,600. Now, I understand some of the grandmothers and elderly, they don't go to the beach, and their daughters living up in, outside of town, they would get the sticker, and probably that's what you're seeing. And the other problem, in order to implement this program, to put the license plate on the sticker, they've already started selling the stickers, right?
we can't do it this year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it this year.
No, exactly.
But I would give us time to make up one, a sample, you know, so we can do that, or they can do that.
Yeah,
Somebody, and then
well, this company, City Hall Systems, can just,
yeah, but they're gonna charge more?
no, all they have to do is write the registration number on it. Like, they do it in the North End, they do it in all these different
So you
communities.
enter it right into the system, and the system
Yeah.
then puts it, prints it on.
Prints out the stickers.
Yeah, with a registration number on it. I mean, I think it's just, look, this, I see it, and I can tell you, and I understand it gets hot, and, you know, Bobby has told me that, there's only a few weeks out of the year it happens.
Yeah.
But if you go down Spring Road, I was appalled last year when I went coming home, both sides of the street, and I don't know how they put up with it, with line right in front of my garage. They parked right in front of my garage, so I couldn't get a car in there.
Why don't we,
And you couldn't get the ambulance or a fire truck down there.
why don't we have resident parking only with sticker on one side of that road?
Well,
I
again,
mean, I just,
we've done that.
I mean, I don't know.
The rule was
I don't wanna-
300 feet from the, what's the rule, 300 feet from the beach?
Well, Mike Manning made a rule that,
Right. Had been within 300 feet of the beach.
I forget what it was, I remember the motion made, he made it. It was, 300 yards,
300 yards, okay,
300 yards from the beach.
right.
You couldn't park.
It's just, and it's out of control. I mean, if you get on, Short Beach is a beautiful place. I grew up on that beach, and it's
But I mean,
out of control.
If we have 2,600 people show up, at Short Beach, how many parking spaces are down at Short Beach? We should figure that out.
Right.
And how many spaces up at East Point? Is what, 10, 12?
But we've never had we had problems years ago. I mean, not like this. This is, and we've always had 1,300 houses in Nahant. I mean,
Well,
give or
you-
take a couple. But
You've got apartments in there, 1,300 homes.
right?
And some homes, you and I both know, they're single family, and there's 3 families living in there. There's 2 apartments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look a little Nahant, we've got problems just parking out there alone. And on the Wilson Road. I mean, it's a very difficult, and we put the police right in the middle of this whole thing, they're thrown in this. And, I don't know, I think we need to control it better, and I'm, listen, I'm guilty, been on the boat the longest, people come and they, it's like, I won't use it, but people send us help, and then they ask, somebody asked for a beach ticket, and we should make a list of the people that help us, that, they could still pay, but this would be a supplemental list. Do you understand? I mean, we've given, people that assist the town in many ways. I don't know what you're gonna do with that. But there's a lot,
That is further discussion, I agree with that.
Yeah,
because
I just think
you help me,
sometimes-
I help you.
well, they
That's
send,
okay, but
they send us prisoners, for instance, 25, 30 prisoners, they clean the cemetery, they clean the beaches, you know what I'm saying? I mean, And for a sticker, I mean, it doesn't make sense not to, to shut that thing off. But I'm just saying,
That's one or two stickers, but it's, you know, and our senator and representative have
well,
gotten,
there used to be I won't mention any names of the area, but there was a lot of it going on, absolutely, in the old days. Absolutely. I mean, we had so many stickers being passed out, it was, but I mean.
It's
now
become out of control.
It's the senior citizens, it's not all the senior citizens, but their daughters coming in from the city of town, and we need to be careful with this thing, though, because, we gotta tighten it up, there's no question. And I just see the senior citizens being suffered again they don't have a computer, the daughter has to type it all in, and it's difficult. It's difficult, and they're getting, what, $3.50 a sticker? $3.50 a sticker, whoa.
There's a lot of policy discussion here. Could I work with each of you to try to put together a list of
No, I'd
your...
rather have the discussion with the three or four of us.
But what I can do is come back with that list to say that this was your input, and then at least we'd have something to work off of. Right now, there's just a lot of policy here.
Well, you can't, the stickers already started being sold out, right?
Yep.
For some reason, I'd like to stop the procedure for people over 70, to force them, to fill out a form to get a sticker.
Well, I know that the treasurer collector's office does assist them in getting their stickers.
Yeah.
And so that is very much helpful in that respect.
Well, can you use credit cards?
Yeah, you can use credit cards.
Can you use $10 credit card?
they can use a credit card up here for anything they want. They can pay their
Taxes?
taxes with it.
Oh, okay. No, I know, I wasn't sure on the stickers, the $10.
But what I could
I
do...
thought it was most of them, some of the visas, $25 minimum, things like that.
Yep. But what I could do is actually do another column of these and just put your inputs in it so that at least when you're talking at the next meeting, you can give me more specific direction.
Sure.
Because this could be a 2-hour discussion.
Right. And I,
I have to get the police chief involved.
right, I think we need to see his
And
policy.
Have him sit in with us too, telling me his problems, okay? His officers are writing these tickets, parking tickets, all right? And then, tell me the problems he's having, have him review this and say, what would you suggest, you know what I mean?
Yep. No,
And
I'll schedule that for the 20th.
I personally think this is wonderful because we're showing the town that we can discuss things before we make decisions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Well, I didn't know about the lobstermen.
I didn't know either.
I had no idea they were paying $25.
I did question it because my next door neighbor's a lobsterman.
Oh, okay,
And I went, and then I forgot about it.
when I saw this, I said, oh,
I think I just, under police department issued day passes, there should be, absolutely, we should change that to a limit of how many day passes they can give out. A day, okay? Because I think that they should be able to, but, we can do that. So this,
well, we gotta figure out how many parking spaces are at lowlands.
right,
On a hot 90-degree day, how soon does it get filled? Right?
Well-
And then what do we...
Quite
also-
fast.
And we know the areas where people come over and illegally park. Town hall, library.
Public
and the
Works.
Public Works building.
Yeah.
They're using the soccer field without permission, things like, you know what I'm saying?
oh, I know that.
And then we need to get that squared away. And they know the areas, the police know, and they...
Right.
He's done a great job, the police chief. I gotta give him kudos on the parking up at East Point.
Correct.
In the wharf, he leaves a cruiser floating up there, and it's fantastic. It's worked. Usually I get complaints from up there, a lot of them. But I think we need to restudy this, review it.
move on, yeah.
Keep moving, okay?
So I'll have Bob join us at the next meeting as well. to discuss
Or
this.
anity else, have Kathy Kugis too.
That's a great idea.
Kathy Kugis is sit down, she's the parking clerk. Is she the parking clerk?
She is.
Then have her, and then have her office think, I mean, and how much time do they spend on this? I mean, we're gonna take that position away, or they're gonna try to take it away. I mean, what happens, you know what I'm saying?
It's not, we'll defend it. The other thing is, I wasn't on the board when they decided to go to city hall systems, and quite frankly, I was against it, just being a citizen. But I see what they go through, and I know how much work they have to do to get to that point so they can issue the sticker. And I know it's frustrating for them because you have a lot of people coming in, they want to pay bills, they want to get a beach sticker, and it's not a very big office. So I think this has worked out pretty good, this whole city hall system. I really do.
Is $10 too much? You make it $5.
Well, then we lose money. We don't lose money, but
We get it, we gain $1.50 a ticket.
so if we,
$10, I mean, why,
City Hall gets $3.50, so.
yeah, I mean, why, you know, I mean.
and right now it's-
Why are we double taxing the people? The tax bills, you know, are large enough on their own, and now, you know, they're charging $10. I don't know where the $10 came from.
from us.
Yeah.
No, I understand, but I mean, I know where it came from. But I'm saying, why do we have $10? It should be, you know.
$6.50 goes to the
And then, of
town.
course, there's another discussion we could have, you know, you pay an excise tax, and the census is in there, they have a box, census, homeowner, and we mail them a sticker.
Yeah, we could do it that way,
You
too.
know what I mean? So that we know definitely the people that are issuing stickers own property, okay? The ones that are gonna have problems is, company cars, that the plate could be registered in New Jersey, company cars. You could have, renters, people renting their property, and you'll find out exactly where the illegal apartments are. We can make a separate list of that.
Yeah.
So there's a separate list, so we, you know,
Well, we can talk about that. Those are the stickers that we'd probably have to issue up here. If they're renters, if they have out-of-state plates and they're citizens here.
well, there's a whole
Right.
skew of that.
But we need to get through it, and we need to,
Yeah.
we need to take
Tonight's not
care of
tonight.
it.
Yeah, so I'll have Bob and Kathy join us at the next meeting, and then in between, I'll send you kind of a simplified form that you can kind of check out with your preferences,
You
and
know,
I'll
I-
pull it together.
Current policy, residents and full-time renters pay excise tax, eligible.
Yep.
I mean, I don't, Enzo told me, he said people, don't have to live here, and they can register a car in Nahant. I never knew that.
If I live in Lynn, and you're my brother, I can register my car in your house.
That's why they have to own property.
And that's the census issue.
Right.
So,
And that's why
that cross-reference.
the town clerk had fought for that for a couple of years.
To be fair to the taxpayers.
Yep.
Okay.
And so I'm assuming that you're going to vote tonight that the first step is that there be excise and census.
Yes.
Because that would be nice to formalize that.
Well, let's put it all together. I don't want
all
to
right.
just vote half.
Also, well, I think they do that now anyway. I know that City Hall citizens won't give you a sticker if you don't fill out your census.
Well, they do it, but it's never been voted, so it's kind of, it's not the policy, I guess I'm saying.
Right.
Well,
That would have to
we
kick
can
in
make
next
that
time.
policy tonight, that particular one.
Yeah, they have
Okay,
to.
I'll make a motion that it's approved, that the census is, town residency would be part of the sticker
So
process for this year.
The process for this year to have, to apply for a sticker is to be a town resident,
Yeah,
own land,
yeah,
and excise tax and census.
right. Or
Those
rent,
four.
or rent,
The census
Or
takes care of
rental,
it.
right,
with a note from the landlord.
right.
And the renters should be put on a separate list. Have a different list so you can track these things. You know what I mean?
Let me make that suggestion to Kathy and have her speak to that.
Yeah,
See-
okay, yeah,
Right.
Okay, great. A vote on that?
yeah.
Want to second that?
You second it, T?
Second for discussion.
Motion's been seconded for discussion.
I just think we're kind of in the stream of 2017, we can't change it for 2017.
Some of it we can, but the majority of it we can't.
Majority of we can't, because some people already have this.
Yeah.
But I agree, we do this moving forward.
I mean,
But one more thing, if I may.
they're listening tonight, they'll probably be...
They'll be on the computer.
They'll be up here tomorrow morning and next week before we meet.
On the funding distribution,
Yeah.
I would assume that we can set that.
Yeah, and you have.
And we have. That was my
Yeah.
question. Okay.
The only thing that we agreed to that we didn't really set was 350, but when we signed the contract, we agreed to the 350, so that drove everything else.
And
You
what
just-
goes to whom?
Yeah, exactly.
That happened when you guys first took them on, but that was like,
Yeah, it was just before I got here that you took that vote.
yeah, so, that was- yeah.
Thank Thank you. The next item is the golf course
Hold
capital.
on, motion's been made,
I'm sorry,
seconded.
sorry.
Any further discussion? No. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
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 Next.
Golf course capital consideration, the MOU. We've talked about this, it's been bounced back and forth between council, and has before us an MOU, memorandum of understanding between us and Play It As It Lies, and it speaks to specifically exactly what we had agreed to. So I'd just like you to vote to sign this.
Okay, I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the memo of the understanding between the Town of Nahant and Play It As It Lies, Inc. of Charlestown, Mass. as a capital funding supplement to the related lease and management agreement dated September 22nd, 2016.
Second.
Motion's been seconded, discussion.
I think it's, what they've done, first of all, what they've done down there is incredible, and they're doing a good job. It's going to be a beautiful restaurant, and it's going to be just a golf course. I don't play golf yet, but I think they're going to do a great job. And the way they've done this is we've done it over 10 years. So it breaks it down, and it gives them, gives them a little leeway over 10 years, because they put a ton of money into the place. So I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good deal for the town.
As I said earlier, we saw a great asset, so this is a fair deal, and I support it.
I'm in favor of this. I'm just thinking, just a short term, now that we've had a major sewer breakdown there, they're not gonna open up. I mean, they're not gonna open up in the month of April.
When we were meeting on site, they moved it from the 15th to the latter part of April, so I think it's kind of a moving target at this point.
But I mean, should we charge them since they're not even open? I mean, this is like, say May 1st, for the month of May, from January, February, March, and April, we shouldn't charge them rent, because they're not open and they're not making any money. And I'm thinking, and then with the sewer break and the sewage, was just water, I should correct it wasn't sewage, it was water. But the onus is on us. We fixed it, and now it's, that delayed them. I'm just thinking, we forgave January already, correct? So you're looking at February, March, April, 3 more months. And they're not gonna, I'm just looking at it as a business. I'm looking at their side of it.
Have they, how long is this going to delay them? What happened down there?
I've heard of no delays at this point.
So that,
Because it was about an inch deep, and it was there for a shorter period of time, and so they're not gonna have much disturbance. But what we had agreed to is $95,000 worth of revenue to the town is the fixed amount.
Right.
So if you wanted to do something like that, we could juggle the 10-year period to adjust the whole column.
That's what I'm saying. I'd put this vote off tonight and add in April. I mean, we'll add in those February, March, April, 3 months.
oh, I don't think we can do that.
Why, if
That's
they're
'cause-
not open, and they're not open, and they're not, I mean,
I know that, but
and then we've had a sewer break. I mean,
I know,
I'm not using it as an excuse, but I think we should be fair to them.
well, I think we are. I mean, at this point,
Yeah, but I mean,
we gave them a month, we
yeah, but
waived a month.
you're dealing with their money. You know what I'm saying?
I know that, I understand
I
that,
mean,
but,
the contract, we never expected 125. We expected 90, 85. And so they're out there for an extra $30,000, $35,000, am I right, Jeff?
About $10,000 a year.
So I'm just thinking, I mean, they're doing right by us. That building has never been, in 45 years, has ever been touched by all the people that have leased that building. I mean, there's no new fire alarm system, insulation, handicapped bathroom. The unit has been cleaned up. It's, I mean, all brand new equipment. I mean, they're really going above and beyond. I'm just thinking, as a businessman, thinking about this and said, why don't we give them a break? Since they're not opening and they're not bringing in revenue. I mean, and the month of April is very iffy. We continue to get rain and water and cold, of course next week is gonna be 80, then it'll probably be snowing, we'll have a snowstorm down there. I think we need to rethink this amendment. I just think, I'm not trying to, but I'm just trying to think, we're not, we should bend over backwards for them, because they're doing us the favor. They've got a building down there that's, no matter whatever happens, all these improvements have made it better. And it's more saleable for new people down the road. I'm just,
My primary concern is just maintaining the minimum revenues that we had discussed.
Right, I
I
understand.
think those are very fair to the town.
It's part of the budget, and this, we balance our budget with this, so we gotta be careful with that, and
Well,
I understand their predicament, but they also took on, I mean, they knew what they were gonna do, they could have,
yeah, but they did the right thing. They could have walked right in there without doing anything.
right. Well, they could have made some renovations.
They brought in a good contractor. They did, their building is, we've seen it.
It's nice.
It-
Yeah,
it's
they
very
did a nice
nice.
job down there, so I'm
They're doing a
pleased with
good
it.
job. I just think we should reward them instead of punish them.
Well, we are.
No, but that,
But my opinion is that this is a good deal, and if anything, we can address this down the road. I'm concerned about this year.
Right.
There is a clause in there that states that the Board of Selectmen, at their sole discretion, can modify this, but that it's understood that this is, right now, the maximum.
I honestly think that we see how they do for the whole season, and we address this next year at budget time. I'm not making a motion, I just think it's something we should do. Because
I just-
remembering what Mr. Lombard said about the 3 months, but let's see how well they do.
there's no revenue coming in down there. And you know what I mean? That's my biggest fear.
We just sent a balanced budget to the FinCom
Based on this.
based on this, and if we
understand.
pull it out now, we're gonna be in trouble, so I think we need to go with what we have right now, and then
Well,
look at it down the road.
that
I agree.
budget is balanced, but the FinCom's gonna try to chop it up a little more.
That's right.
Yeah, so, and they've already started it. I mean, they're
Oh,
not
yeah.
funding those two positions.
Well,
Totally, I mean, did they run a personnel,
We'll see.
did they have a personnel survey and a job usage of, these two positions in the office? What's the workload in the treasurer's office and the workload of the public? I didn't see any assessment like that. Has that been done?
No.
No personnel assessment or anything like that? Did they, of course, you have one already to present at town meeting.
Yep.
Good. All right. Okay, motion's been made, a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. We have a series of use requests, and the first one starts out with the Apollo Club, and you have a motion.
I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the Nahant Public Library's event request for an Apollo Club concert on 6/19/17 at 3:30 p.m. at Town Hall.
Motion's been made, a second.
I will second that.
Discussion. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
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 Next item is a kite day.
Okay, I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the Coolidge Middle School's event request for an annual kite day on Friday, 6/2/17 from noon to 1:45 p.m. on Short Beach.
Second.
Motion made, and second. Discussion. They got, 170, what are these kids coming in, 4 school buses?
We have
Have we got coverage?
we do.
Okay, we've done this
Yeah,
before?
We've done this before.
Okay.
All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
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 Carries?
I'm going to call the next one out a little differently because, or a little more, because it's unique. We have a tall ship event coming in June 16th. The event is in Boston, and it goes from the 16th to the 23rd. The ships come in to the harbor on the 16th, and they leave on the 23rd. What is being planned is that one of the ships will stop here at the in Tudor Harbor area, and then they're proposing a party where they bring in the admiral and the sailors, and they have a party on the wharf itself. And so that's the proposal, and you have a
Okay,
motion on that.
we've done this before. They did it the last time they were here, so, oh, I'm sorry, T, go ahead.
They're requesting a fee waiver?
They are requesting a fee waiver.
Do we vote on them getting a
A
waiver?
fee waiver?
It would be best if you could. Just make it part of your motion.
I move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the Nahant Preservation Trust and Dory Club's event request for the Tall Ships Party on 6/16/17 at 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Town Hall, at the Town Wharf, fee waived.
Motion's been made, seconded,
I'll second it for discussion.
discussion.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's no invitation for the board.
There will be.
There will be.
You're actually speaking.
We'll dress up as sailors.
I told you we should get new harbor master's boat with the lights, and we can go out there and,
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, this next one is my favorite, Curious Creatures. If you haven't come to this event, it's a fantastic event. So, and you have a motion on this.
Okay, I'll move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the Nahant Public Library's event request for Curious Creatures on 4/19/17 at 10 a.m. at the Nahant Town Hall.
Second.
Made and seconded, discussion.
So make sure they don't leave any snakes in the Town Hall.
It's the hedgehogs you have to watch out for.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries, unanimous.
Next, each year we have the Earl One Pitch Tournament, and that's the next motion.
I move the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the Friends of Earl Annual Softball Tournament on 7/18/17 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Flash Road Ball Field. That is to benefit the Hanson family.
Motion's been made and seconded.
I will second that.
Discussion.
Discussion. Have you given?
Just says, "Dear Mr. Lombard and fellow selectmen," so it should say Mr. Brew and Mr. Taylor also.
Well, I didn't write that.
I know you didn't, but that shows how important you are.
Yeah, no, I am not that important. I want to make sure.
It's a great event.
Oh, absolutely.
Great
We
event.
want to make sure we give them authorization to use that ballpark.
They're great people.
And also, they're gonna have music, and they're gonna be able to, so,
And from our house, we're located exactly right, Mr. Lombard. We can dance to the music.
oh, absolutely, they got
Without
great,
paying for it.
they got great music down there. One Titch, and
This is terrific.
they have the food.
Congrats.
So we give them a permit for all that.
Yeah.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Carried.
The last item is we have a series of one-day liquor licenses for the Nahant Vet Association. You have a motion on that.
Okay, I'll move that the Board of Selectmen vote to approve the Nahant Veterans Association one-day all alcoholic liquor licenses for the following events and dates. The Legion District Meeting on 4/23/17 from 1 to 6 p.m., the Kentucky Derby on 5/6/17 from 3 to 8 p.m., and Memorial Day on 5/29/17 from 12 to 5 p.m., and a flag retirement ceremony on 6/16/17 from 5 to 9 p.m., all events to be held at the Nahant Life Saving Station.
Motion's been made and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great, thank you. The next item has to do with trash collection. About a month and a half, 2 months ago, the selectmen had asked me to speak with Waste Management, our trash collector, about concerns that you were having. And a lot of it had to do with kind of untidiness with the barrels and such, and damage to the barrels and such. So in speaking with Mike Wall, the representative, he suggests that we consider splitting the town into 2 days, Thursday and Friday. And you have a map in here that would show how that would split. And the split would be on Spring Road. And what this would do is 2 things. It would give them more time to be more cautious and careful. And then also, if they miss something on Thursday, they'd be there Friday and they could pick it up on Friday. So, if you are agreeable to this, I just need a kind of sense of the board, and then I can bring details back to you at the next meeting.
Well, I think it's a good idea because so that they don't rush, and I think most people would agree that 2 days wouldn't be bad.
Sure, I agree. Since it's been brought up, I think Mr. Burrell started bringing it up, that they've done a great job on my street since then, but having 2 days to take the trash is a good idea. I concur.
Yeah, they're not rushing as much, I think they could put 2 or 3 trucks per unit, you know, per.
Right. Okay.
And so with this, just so the public understands, Little Nahant to Spring Road, Bailey's Hill area, that would be Thursday, and then Big Nahant from Spring Road to East Point would be Friday, in this proposal. So let me go work out the details, and I'll come back to you on the 20th with more details that you can take a vote on.
And you'll switch them over July 1st?
They'll look at a transition. They want to make sure that they get enough PR out there so that people are comfortable. So I'll ask them to roll out a timeline for us. And then, when it's appropriate, we'll put the map on the webpage so people can understand.
Okay.
Good,
Very
good
good.
idea, thank you.
Great. And then, we also had an update from the health agent on 2 violations that were ongoing. As you can see, he's pursuing them with no further violations being cited in multiple visits. So this is just an update.
Good.
And with that, that's all I have for you tonight.
Did you, Little Nahant, the problem over there, I talked to a couple of those residents over there, they still have a problem. Next to the tides, not in the tides, but on the wall. Can you meet with DCR, see if they can give you help?
Sure.
Maybe, work on that wall?
That, unfortunately, I've spoken with DCR, and that section is ours. So their beach stops, just at the tides area on the far side.
Maybe you can just get the,
Start our program again.
yeah, I would, just for a couple of months while this, you know,
Yep.
make sure there's no individuals getting back to the normal of putting food out there.
Yes, okay.
And I'd have John Coolen check that to make sure various times a day so that there's no misunderstanding.
Yep. I'll
All right.
have them give us a report.
The scholarships, I just have one question. The Charles Kelly Scholarship is, the due date is tomorrow?
Wow.
Okay,
And we have one applicant,
okay.
and so that's in your,
Should we extend it?
and so, well, no, we decided we thought we were gonna have to extend it, but then we got the applicant, today, and they have one more day. You can still extend it if you'd like.
Well, do we have a list of all those scholarships?
We do.
Did you put it down there?
It's on the webpage, and you had asked it for it this, earlier this spring.
Yeah.
And so we actually put it out there.
Okay. I'll extend it to a couple more weeks to give everyone a chance. How much is that scholarship?
It is, I wanna say 500?
Yes.
Right.
500, yeah.
And how much is in the balance of that account?
Oh, I don't have a balance, but I know that we've funded multiples before, and so it's, yeah, I think we can sustain multiples. I don't know, I'll get you the balance, though.
Okay.
Well,
500 doesn't seem like an awful lot of money for a kid going to college.
There's a large list of scholarships.
No, I know there is. I hope we're publicizing and have the opportunity, and the Northeastern scholarships for next year, too. And we've got one applicant, I believe.
Yep, and he's under consideration.
No, I understand, but I hope the residents realize that the scholarship for Northeastern is still, you know, and other people, you know, they should, if they're applying for colleges now.
Yeah. We could actually, we have mailings that go out routinely for bills and such. We could actually stuff that in there.
I would think that'd be a great idea. I know a lot of people don't know about it, or don't,
It's surprising.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great.
but I also look at this as, this young man, some great references, by the way,
Yes.
Yeah,
went out of his way and he made the deadline. I mean, that's another way to look at it.
yeah, no, I agree.
But if we open it up, I want preference made to this young man.
Certainly.
By the way, there's
No,
no
I mean,
name,
we can award it if you want it.
there are no names here, so.
Oh, no, I'm just, I have no problem. If you want to award the scholarship tonight, I mean, I just,
No, I just want to make sure that we know.
it seems like, I don't think,
Well, somebody had asked me when the due date is, and I'm guessing that they want to submit, yeah, so I don't want
So
to
we can-
shortchange anybody.
well,
Yeah, so-
$500, it pays for the books, you know. We should, if there's money in there, we should move it to 1,000, I think, down the road, all right?
Sure. Yeah, we could.
Vote?
I don't know the number, I don't know the
Right,
number.
once we find out the
And if we have to raise, have a fundraiser for it, we should. All right, Jeff.
That's all we have for tonight.
Gentlemen, anything else in front of the board?
No.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Motion's been made, a second.
I will second.
Motion seconded, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Good night, thank you, God bless.
And the rain is